My name is JD Carling. I'm the owner of CARD and Central Florida's minimalist architect builder. The CARD approach to architecture is to design things as simple as possible. And the way we do that is we gather as much information as possible about the project on the front end, and that kind of creates a project DNA, if you will. And when we're designing, we try to underscore that simple idea throughout every layer and every portion of the project. In the case of the English house, we saw a really unique opportunity to build in the center of Winter Park on a smaller lot. And Winter Park is a unique location in Central Florida because you have all these nodes or neighborhoods like Park Avenue, Winter Park Village, Martin Luther King Jr. Park, New England, Hannibal Square, and there's a lot of new things getting built here too. And this area was right in the middle. And all those things are important, but we see that each house, each piece of the block is important, and we wanted to create a house that kind of pulled all those things together in a way that's already consistent with what's there and reinforce it and make a stronger neighborhood. Along the street where we built the house, we wanted to make this house engage the sidewalk and engage the passerby in a way that didn't make it feel like you were walking down a cold street with a bunch of garages on the front or nothing that was inviting. So we did a bunch of small things, like we have kind of a playful pathway up to the front door that's reminiscent of a hopscotch field. And we wanted that to make it feel like kind of a fun experience getting up to the front door. And then we also added a extended Juliet balcony to the front of the house, so that if we're upstairs and there's someone that we know that's coming by, we can easily get out and say hi to them or tell them where to park. The overall form and the massing of the house was developed based on this being a small lot. It's actually a smaller lot than what's allowed in the city now, but we were grandfathered in. So the setbacks they imposed upon us and a large live oak that the city wanted to keep directed us into making a simple volume for the house. So we kind of looked through the code and found that if we made the house 25% glass, we could keep a simple volume. And that was something that we wanted with this house, was to have as much natural light passing through the full length of the house. So the code and what we wanted to communicate in our idea actually ended up marrying very, very perfectly. On every project that we work on, we want to have unique materials or materials used in a unique way. And to keep with an idea of simplicity and minimal joints, minimal lines, on the exterior, we chose a corrugated metal, but it was a micro corrugated metal, which is not common, and we got special engineering for it and custom corner pieces done that you can't get off the shelf. And the reason we wanted that is to make the corners of the building as tight and as sharp as possible. And the piece is actually folded in a way that matches the corrugation, and it really, really lightens up the heaviness that you get from having banding around your design. When you come inside the house, there's two very distinct areas, and the first floor is one huge room with a large glass wall on the side and an extremely oversized gathering table. And that design came about because there was going to be so many people coming to the house either for events or family gatherings. We have a huge family, and the table seats 14 people, and for a 3-bedroom house, that's way oversized. But it gets used all the time. So the idea of this large volume for gathering on the first floor has been very, very, very useful over the years. Upstairs is a more private zone, and all the rooms are filled with light and very, very minimal detail. There's no trim boards on the floor, there's nothing around the doors. Everything is very simple and calming. And so you go from this very active zone to a very private and calm zone. When we created the house, I had promised a friend from when I was a kid that the first personal thing I designed or whatever would have a secret room or a trapdoor or something in it. And we wanted a roof deck on the house, so we thought it'd be fun to put this kind of secret pull-down ladder in a way to get up to it. And so that was kind of like a fun hidden thing, and it makes it feel special when you go up there and we set up tents and we spend the night up there. And so each project we want to give as much attention as possible, as much care as possible to creating something that's unique. And if you're only going to do something once, it should also be something very unique, something that hasn't been seen before. You want that to be something that you've got creative ideas that you've pulled into, that you're communicating and manifesting in the world. And at CAUG, that's what we want to do.